So go ahead and open up.
Alrighty. We give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha, Raka, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news of the gospel, teaching this truth throughout the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth in all sincerity and risking their life to do so.
Right. Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom wa ba ba ba. All right. So we're just going to go in that the Edomites and these other nations can do nothing against us. All right. And we're going to go into the history so that you know the mystery. All right. So we're going to start with, you got it?
Yeah, that was Proverbs 21, verse 1, and it reads, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right. So the heart of the kings are in the hand of the Lord. And just like the rivers, he controls which direction they go, all right, and how strong they are, everything. So that's how the kings are. They're being controlled by our Father, Yahweh, all power, Yahweh, through his Son, Yahushai, which is Matthew 28, grab that, and 18, I think it is.
Matthew 28, what was it?
18?
Okay. Matthew 28. Matthew 20:18. Let's go. Matthew. There we go. Wherever that's at. Let me see. Matthew. Oh, yeah. 28:18 you said. Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 28, KJV. We'll start at verse 18. And this reads, And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth.
Right. So over all men. All right. He controls the angels and men. All right. Which our name in the Bible is Yasharallah, the princes of power. Now, not all Israel is of Israel. So you got Israelites seeking the power of men. All right. And those are those reprobates, those 2/3. They want something in this kingdom with men. All right, we want it with Yahweh, our power, which is in heaven. And we could only access that through Yahushua, the Redeemer of Israel. All right? Go ahead and read that one more time, please.
Come on. That was 18 again.
Uh-huh.
This reads, Matthew 28, chapter 28, verse 18, And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth.
And in earth, right? And he gives it to who? The Israelites, right? So we're going to show that it's with us through Genesis. Go to Genesis 31.
Genesis what?
31.
Okay, Genesis chapter 31, verse 1.
Go to verse 22.
Verse 22.
Right, so the story of Jacob is he ran from his brother Esau after he received the blessing, all right, and he went to his uncle Laban, which is up north by Syria, all right, he was up there. And so then Jacob served him for so many years, and he got his 2 daughters, their servant women, and he had a bunch of sons. And pretty much Laban prospered having Jacob as a servant, his uncle, and he didn't want to let him go. So eventually Jacob knew he was deceiving him to stay, so he just fled out in the middle of the night secretly. And Laban was angered, and he chased him, just like Pharaoh chased the Israelites out of Egypt. Just like the Edomites are going to try to chase down the elect today. And look what happened with our power. Go ahead.
Come on. And it was told Laban on the 3rd day that Jacob was fled.
Right, so he left, and he didn't know for 3 days. Go ahead.
And he took his brethren with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead.
Right, so they came upon him fast and hard, which his sons already were talking shit, his cousins, because he pretty much got a great inheritance, which if you know, they're the Jacob sheep. All the cattle and the sheep that were spotted or had a blemish, he took them, and the Lord gave him wisdom to use a certain kind of herb, and it caused them like an aphrodisiac for the animals, so they bred hard, and there was a great multiplication of the flocks of Jacob. All right, and Laban, his animals didn't prosper like that, because when you go up in the chapter, they made an agreement for his service, which he worked for those 2 daughters of his. But then he said, "Hey, I can't leave without an earning," which is what he received, which is those sheep and cattle that were spotted. All right, go ahead.
And power came to Laban and Syrian in a dream by night and said,
right. So, where are you? What verse?
24.
24. The God there, all right, it's Elohim. All right, so this is dealing with the elect, the angels that are actually here in flesh prophesying. It says divine ones, angels, that word there, Elohim. All right, which they're divine ones, angels, which they're men, but they're gods, which are the elect. It says works of special possessions of power, the true power, which we glorify Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So the Lord sent his Elohim to speak to Laban when he was sleeping. All right? And you know, they talk about the pineal gland. I was reading about that. When you get the pineal gland active, what it does is it releases a high level of melatonin, which makes you want to sleep. Why? Because why do you think they meditate and they want to put themselves in like a half awake, half sleep state? Are these guys that do Buddhist, where they do the martial arts? They try to put themselves in like a zone of sleep and awake.
Is that like meditation?
Meditation. See, but we meditate on the scripture. We don't do that, make your mind void, right? And all that chanting. What we're chanting are these scriptures, which they actually are when you get down into it, but they're a reprobate section of what was Israelite men. All right? But in this discipline that we have, the truth, we meditate on this word. Okay? And so as we meditate, we receive the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, which is in his word. Okay? So the Elohim came to Laban, the Syrian, in a dream by night. All right, go ahead.
And said unto him, take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad.
And so they can't say nothing good or bad. That's why they won't just come out and say it all clear. Even on the media, they won't just come out and tell you clearly what they're doing. They have to do it in deception because they think nobody sees them. But the Lord's eyes are brighter than the sun. He knows exactly what they're doing. In fact, he's the one doing it through them. Not to destroy us, but so that we could overcome the adversary. You see? But they got to do it in secret so that they don't openly come against us. But they're going to come against us in the open at the end. It says, when they come in like a flood, then the Lord shall raise up the standard, what is possible in this faith. See? So just like with Jacob, Laban is chasing him to kill him. Watch. Go ahead, read. It's going to tell you. He wanted to kill him. And take his wives, which were his daughters, take the cattle that was of his flock, but he promised to Jacob. All right, just like right now. What are they planning on doing? Taking your house, destroying your life, right? But they're not going to be able to just roll over the elect like that. All right, go ahead.
Then Laban overtook Jacob.
Right.
Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead.
Right, because Jacob, you got to remember, he's not just traveling on horseback or camel. He got a whole flock of people with him. He got wives, he got servants, he got children, he got flocks, he got herdsmen. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So he can't move as fast as men on horses or just men on camels coming with swords.
Con.
So go ahead.
And Laban said to Jacob, what hast thou done that thou hast stolen away unawares to me and carried away my daughters as captives taken with the sword?
Right? Because he felt like Jacob pretty much stole them. All right? Because, and this shows you we had the law before it was written. It's in the spirit, because really what he's referencing is we had a law that if you were a servant to an Israelite for 7 years, you had to serve for so long, and then he was allowed to come out. But if you loved the wife that he gave you, right, you had to stay with them and then get your ear pierced, which that's where the implantable microchip, because you would stay forever in his, be a possession to him forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen with these 2/3. They're going to take that implantable microchip, right, and be a possession of Esau's, which they're not even going to exist forever, but they're going to be made extinct eventually. But when the Lord comes back, their kingdom is going to be burnt up. Just like if he was to come back and burn the house they're in. That's what he's going to do, but with their kingdom. He's going to burn their kingdom and burn their men. What happened in the time of Egypt? The king and the military was destroyed. For what? Pursuing the Israelites. Mm-hmm. It was a setup. You're being set up, Edom. And you it don't matter. Your heart is hardened. You're not going to be able to stop. Showing you it's not you doing it. All right? But you're going to think that you could fight and win, and you're going to lose. All right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Con. Wherefore this thou flee away secretly and steal away from me, and didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with mirth and with songs, with tabrets and with harps.
Right, so he's saying, why didn't you tell me I'd let you go happily? That's what these Edomites say. When they say, go back to your country, or just leave if you're not happy here. But they won't let you leave.
Mm-hmm.
You see, they're liars. And that's what he was doing, was lying to him. He lied to him the whole time, even when he gave him the other daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Leah instead of Rachel. So that's what they're doing here. They lied to you this whole time. The so-called white man and the other nations, they lied to the Israelite. You're going to get a 40 acres and a mule. You're going to get stimulus checks that are going to help you out of poverty. You're going to get an education where you can get a job with a better pay. You'll be able to retire peaceably. That's all lies.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they told all the tribes individually. Look at what they did to the Gadite. They made promises and broke them. You see? So we're dealing with the same situation as our forefathers did in the past. All right? And our power is going to come and show that he's with us. That's why we have the name Yasharallah. He prints power. Just like in Egypt, their magicians told Pharaoh that this is the finger of God. Well, that's what they're going to say in this generation. And they're going to say, this is the hand of God, that is with the Israelites. Go ahead.
Con. And hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters, thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt, but the power of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad.
Right. So what happened was he sent an angel, which was an Israelite man. And he spoke with him. That word there, where it says God, is Elohim. So an angel came upon a man which was on earth, an Israelite man, which in Jacob's time there was no Israelite, so it would have been sons of God, which it's the same name, literally, just said, right? Sons of God, Yasharallah. He prints, what are you a son of? Power.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So we've always been known as the princes of power. Even in the beginning, they called us Elohim. The power is with them. You see? So we've always on this earth had this reputation of having power, not just with men, but with the supreme power, which he shows us favor on earth amongst men. And that's why he said, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. He's going to show his love for us, which he already has done by disciplining us, but by him protecting us through this whole enormous storm that's about to take place. Go ahead.
Con. And now, though thou wouldest needs be gone, because thou so longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods?
Which he didn't do it. Rachel did it. But this shows you that the women, all right, even though they're not fully persuaded as the men, they're going to be protected being in that house. Because she's Rachel, the daughter, and even Jacob goes, hey, let whoever has it, let him be put to death. But she's not discovered because she says she's on her period, making her unclean. And she was unclean. She had those idols. You see, but Jacob didn't know about it.
Yep.
But see, the angels protected him. You see? Go ahead.
And Jacob answered and said to Laban, because I was afraid, for I said, peradventure, that thou wouldest take by force thy daughters from me.
Right, you would do this. You would act out like this. This is why I didn't want to say nothing. This is why I just took off in the middle of the night, because you'd act all fucking stupid. See? Just like now, what would happen if we just all upped and left out of America? Right? They would be upset. Why would they be upset? Because they feel like we were stealing from them because we're their slaves. All right? Go ahead.
With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren discern thou what is thine with me.
Right, which we have a law, thou shalt not steal, nor have any other God. So Jacob's is saying, I have nothing of yours. All right, because these laws, before they were written, they were verbal laws that everybody operated off of, that they learned from the sons of God. Go ahead.
Before our brethren discern thou what is thine with me, and take it to thee, for Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them.
Right, he didn't know. Right? And really that's how it is, even with the women in this world, you don't know. Right? Now you might have a woman in your house. Is she going to be covered? You don't know, but you're hoping so. Right? But the Lord is showing that he had favor on Jacob, which were the sons of Jacob. And it's really not depending on the woman to really know, but to be obedient to her husband. And they followed him out from their father's house. So the Lord delivered her. See, because her father would have had to put her to death right there in front of everybody to make his word true. Because you had to keep your word back in the ancient world. You couldn't just go around lying like now. Because you'd be put to death. Go ahead.
Gone. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maid servants' tents, but he found them not. Then went he out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent.
Remember, this is the one that Jacob loved. Right? Go ahead.
Now, Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father, let it not displease my lord, that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me.
What custom? That if she had the period, she was unclean.
Right.
Showing you that these laws were verbal before they were written down on stone. All right? We had a custom, and those customs were these laws that we were... The instruction which we were taught by the Elohim, the sons of God, now today the elect of Israel. Go ahead.
And he searched, but found not the images. And Jacob was wroth and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me.
Right, so he got upset now. Y'all up in my shit, you know? Go ahead.
Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both.
Right, which is a metaphor for Esau and Jacob. Remember, when Esau and Jacob were born, Esau was first, and the hill, Jacob had a hold of it. It tells you in 2 Ezra 6 that all this is happening between the hill and the hand. All right, we're at the end of Edom. There's nothing more after this. 1,000 years of slavery, and he's going to be made extinct. But what continues? Jacob. All right, so we're going to collide because he's trying to search out for his idols. Right, he's going to try to put his idols upon us, the implantable microchip. But we're not like him. See, so we live to a different custom than him. Even though we may have people around us that interfere, like Rachel, Jacob loved her, so the Lord had favor on her. He could have just had her put to death. See? But the Lord protected her. And what was she using was pretty much a commandment to protect herself, though she was doing evil. See? So the 1/3, is it really the Lord's dealing? He's dealing with the elect like Jacob. But the 1/3 is going to cleave to the house of Jacob. Be part of it. It don't mean that they're the hopeful elect as the elect 144,000. The elect 144,000 ain't going to have no idols of any heathen. See? But you're going to have women. And are the women going to be walking completely upright? No. Your children, right? Are we depending on our children to save us? No. It's because we are upright in Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, just like Noah. When the Lord saved Noah, right? Did he save Noah's sons because they were prophets? No, it was because he was dealing with Noah, but the sons were saved because they were in his house. His wife and their wives. See? So, we're not just doing this for ourselves. Remember that. That's what the Lord don't want. He don't want you to be a selfish pig like Esau wants you to be. He wants you to think of the flock. See, and in that movie Godfathers 2, there's a part where his sister cries to Michael because he has to kill the 2/3 brother that tried to kill him. And she's there crying, and it makes me always think of Isaiah 4:1. And she goes, Michael, it was just you cared about the family. And we didn't know that. We hated you. Right? Thinking that we were trying to make ourselves better than we are. But really, we're just trying to look out for our people. Right? We can't make ourselves better than we are. We have no authority to do that. All right? Even if we get nicer clothes, we're still that body decaying. If we don't shower, we're going to stink. See, we're just men right now. Though we have the wisdom of God, the Almighty God, Yahweh, which we receive in the name of Yahweh Shai through the Holy Spirit, to feed the flock, feed the sheep. The one that keeps it for himself and doesn't share it, that's the unfaithful servant. See, we're a flock. All right, go ahead.
Come on. This 20 years have I been with thee, thy evils and thy sheep goats have not cast their young, and the rams of the flock have not eaten. That which was torn of beast I brought not unto thee, I bear the loss of it.
So if you're doing business and say you get a bad product, instead of trying to get a refund, you just I'll pay for it. It's just part of the business. Charge it to the business. So that's what he's saying. If I lost one of your animals, I didn't tell you I lost one of your animals. I bared it. I gave you one of mine, or I paid for it. Right? Like if you're a dishwasher, any dish I break, I'll replace it. That's pretty much what he's saying. I was a benefit to you. All right? That's what we are. We don't charge you for this. We're a benefit to you, and the Lord made it free through the internet. which is another gift to Israel, giving us this horn. Go ahead.
Con. My hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was in the day, the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes.
So he was watching over these animals day and night, falling asleep doing it. Oh, right? Like a security guard working hard, right? And he did it for 20 years. And the man didn't want to let him go. He was supposed to be let go after 7 years. See? So just like us, these Edomites should have let us go. But they don't want to let us go. That's why they got counterfeits in our land. That's why they got false philosophies. And that's why they're scrambling right now. They're trying to make up all these excuses of why they can't let us go. Why they can't give us even civil equal rights. That's happening right now in 2025. They're rolling back civil rights, which Israelites died in the pursuing of civil rights to be accepted as an equal amongst Edom, which they never accepted us. All right? They've always looked down on us when we are the greater people. So now we're going to look down on them because they're going to be the poor. See, they're rich when they have us, but the Lord, once they lose us, they're the poorest of the poor. They're scum. It says the heathen are nothing. See? So that's why they're going to fight like hell to try to keep us with deceit and with that sword. Don't you know I have power to take your life? It doesn't matter. We have the power over life and death with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. See? You could take our life and we die in front of you and stand right back up in a moment. Like nothing even happened. See? So you don't really have the power of nothing, Esau and you other heathen. Really, you crossed the line and now there's a target on you from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The curses, the plagues are being taken from us and going to be put upon you and your children because you mistreated us. You forfeit the throne. Go ahead.
Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast changed my wages 10 times.
Right, because he kept trying to leave. He wouldn't let him leave. When you go into the story, it's just like here. They'll say, you paid off this debt, and then a year later, they'll say, hey, you owe this money for this debt. Wait a minute, I just paid this. Oh, no, you didn't pay the small print. You see? That's how Esau's working. That's that MOTB. Oh, you told me this was going to give me life. But you come to find out it's death. See? So there's a great deception going upon the earth. But the elect, the ones that the power Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is dealing with through the Spirit, they won't deceive us. In fact, we're going to get over on you. All right?
And he's always changing the goalposts, going back to Esau, because he's always changing the rules.
Right.
So, because he's in that position of power, he's able to do a lot of things, that people cannot even see, Because why is the president getting so rich now, They say he's got he's
billions.
Like 9
he
billion.
came in $1 billion.
Oh, was it 1 billion?
Yeah, he already was a billionaire before he came as a president.
Yeah.
So he's a trillionaire now. But, as they said, he's getting it from 25 different directions.
Yeah.
Because he's the tail of the beast system. He's most likely the last president. All right, he's trying to be the last pope. You know what I mean? But it says the income, the daily salary, the hourly wage in America. Let's see, because I know they were just changing it, and they changed it. They said they were going to increase it, but I've heard they decreased it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Hourly wage in America, $30.96. All right, March 2025. So if they're paying everybody in fucking McDonald's $30 an hour, on top of the inflation of the food, right?
Yeah.
And the rent and all these things.
Yeah.
How much is the cheeseburger going to cost? Now, it's $20 a meal, right?
Yeah.
$10 a sandwich. See, so it's going to go up $10 more.
Yeah.
$15 more. See? So it's going to be a $25, $30 sandwich. You see? It's only going to get worse here. And they're telling you it's getting better, and this is deception.
Yeah.
Because the poor that work for the little minimum wage, man, that's $30 an hour.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the most money you ever made in your life, but the least that you have because it's expensive.
Yeah,
That's these. Go ahead.
Consider the rent. You don't consider the price of eggs. You know, the gas. All these things. You know, and it's even going to go into, they say, hyperinflation.
Hyperinflation, where prices are changing in an hour. You see, bread might be $20 a loaf. You get it from the shelf and go to the register, it'll be $100 a loaf.
Mm-hmm.
What? But I only got 20. It was just 20. No. It went up. Business, man. The cost of business. See? Another one, tariffs. They said it was going to help America. What does it do? Who pays the tariff? See?
The American citizen.
That's a deception Esau uses. In front of all these heathen, which they're confederate with him. All right, that's why he's able to do what he's doing in Gaza and nobody say really none. Because they're all confederate. All right? Look up the board of the UN. All right? They're confederate. Now the elite, which Yahweh controls through his son Yahweh Shai, he's going to put it in their hearts to use the allies of America and the enemies, NATO and BRIC, to shoot nuclear missiles on America. All right, go ahead.
Come on. Except the power of my father, the power of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely thou hast sent me away now empty. Power hath seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight.
And look, it says in that verse, God, it says Elohim, the powers, the elect ones. See? We were known as the Elohim before. And pretty much, we stood up against Laban for Jacob. See? Just like we're standing up against Esau for the Israelites today. 2/3 of the nation of Israel is rejecting this salvation in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But see, he sent the elect, because you got to remember in Isaiah 1 and 3, it tells you that Israel does not know, nor do they consider. But for the elect, he put us here just for this purpose, to be the faithful ones in this generation for the Israelites. See? Go ahead.
And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children.
And that's what they're going to say about the Israelites. These are my people. That's why I ain't going to let them go. These are American citizens. In fact, go get an implantable microchip to show you're my children. And that's why you're called the sons of Satan, the children of Satan. Because you're going to do what Satan tells you to do, just like with that left-handed jab that they told you to do. That's what Satan said. Go show your love for me. I'm your daddy. And majority of the people went and took it on purpose and told others to do it. So that's how it's going to be in that time of temptation when they make that implantable microchip mandatory. All right, you're going to have the fucking funky-ass 2/3 reprobate Israelites being deceived and deceiving each other into taking that device. And Esau is in the back of it as the mastermind. And really, it goes back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but he uses Esau like a glove. All right? That he's just going to take off and throw away one day. Go ahead.
Yeah, because people are ignorant, you know.
Yeah.
The ones that are following after this red devil, you know, they're usually idiots, you know. They don't care. They're not even looking at they have no kind of reason, you know.
No, and that's how he likes them. It says, my people are destroyed for what? The lack of knowledge. And they don't have the knowledge. Why? Because Edom didn't give it to them.
Right.
You see, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai only allowed us this knowledge, this heavenly knowledge through the Spirit. The reprobates, they have no knowledge. All right? They don't even think they're slaves, really. All right?
Yeah. And these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these, my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne?
Which they're really not his, they're Jacob's. Which this world is ours. Mm-hmm. The people are ours. The resources are ours. Mm-hmm. But Esau, what did he tell the Indian? You don't own the land. Yeah. And then the Indian said, what? Who'd you buy it from? No, they stole it.
Yeah.
See? But now they don't want to let it go.
They're not telling them, the Gad,
the Gad,
what the deal is,
Right.
But just like now, he says he's got deals, but they haven't heard no deals yet.
Right. And they even said if they do deals, it's too late. Mm-hmm. Things are set into place, and you're going to see. All right. I already see it. When I went to the store yesterday, it was empty. A lot of this, there was broken heaters. I was like, what the freak? The coolers are shut off. They're like, the heaters are off. But I'm thinking, how they said those blackouts are going to start hitting America, which 2 o'clock this morning, I was woken up and I went to the restroom, and we had a blackout last night. So you better be ready for a blackout like what happened to Europe, or when they did that Microsoft reset. Mm-hmm. The whole world had a shutdown, but this thing is going to last, all right? Because they're going to try to shut the information down. What we're telling you is true, and they're going to try to stop it, but they can't stop it. All they're going to do is cause it to increase. A standard is going to be lifted. Go ahead.
Now, therefore, come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee.
Which the Lord told us not to hate the Syrian because Laban, all right? Mm-hmm. We got his daughters, which we got the 12 tribes of Israel out of those 4 women. His 2 daughters and their servant women, all right? So Laban, his people are going to be in the kingdom of heaven. Even though they're going to be servants for 1,000 years, they're going to live with us and prosper in their own land, serving tributaries to us. But Esau, he's not going to get it. All right? He's not going to get it, even though he seems like he's even a kinder man in this part. We're going to continue. But it's because the angels visited him. Just like right now. They're at home. They come across our videos. They're watching them. They know of them. They're searching them. And then when they lay down in their bed and they're planning on doing evil, our voices come into their mind. How? Yahweh and the angels that are in the spirit realm, and they put those things in their mind and they're tormented by them. Tormented. Like the mummy. Remember the mummy? He had that blue beetle, and it went up into that guy's brain, and he was like, ah! And he ran into the wall to try to stop the pain. Right? Well, remember, there's a movie called Blue Beetle. And who was that? That was Jake getting spiritual power. I have it right here. This movie. If you ain't seen it, see it. Blue Beetle. See, we get in their brains and like insects, and we cause them to go mad. And that's what Esau is. He's mad. He's a madman.
Yeah.
I heard him today. They asked Trump, should you enforce the Constitution? I don't know. I got to answer you. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like he's going crazy. Does he know where he is? You know what I mean? It's like someone getting beat. And eventually they don't know who they are or where they are or how they got there or who they're there with.
He's got to ask his brilliant lawyers.
Right, because all that pressure is going on him. They know, the elite know, all right? Because they got the same answer as they did in the past. That they cannot curse us, all right? They cannot use magic against us. And all they should do is just bless us.
We didn't know if he followed the Constitution.
Right.
As that's what they.
That's one of their promises, is it not?
Yeah.
So that shows you another nail in their coffin that they're liars. They don't keep their word.
Mm-hmm.
But see, we're diligent. We keep our word. And our word is the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We use the Holy Scriptures. Mm-hmm. All right? Go ahead.
And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap. And they did eat there upon the heap.
Right.
And Laban called it Jagar
Sahadath. I'll pull it up. I can get it spoken. Let me get it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Strong's H 3026. Yegar.
Yegar. Which it's saying witness heap, a heap of witnesses. And it is Yagar Shaka Dawadar, which is a heap of witnesses. All right, now let's see where that is. Go ahead, you can continue.
Khan. And Laban called it, I'll just say, Jagar Sahaduda. But
no, say a heap of witnesses.
A heap of witnesses,
mm-hmm.
But Jacob called it Gilead.
Gilead, which that's the harvest. The Lord's going to harvest a heap of witnesses. All right, when he returns. That's why it's actually called these names. These names are omens. Go ahead.
And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead.
So he pretty much made a promise that he wouldn't be destroyed. All right. Laban, and that still continues today. It's in the scripture. Esau tried to write himself in there, and it says, do not hate an Edomite, which it should be in there, the Assyrian, which are including the Syrians. All right. Go ahead.
And Mizpah, for he said, the Lord Yahweh watch between me and thee when we are absent one from another.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much that the Lord be with you, mm-hmm. right? So that we could carry out these oaths that we had.
If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, power is witness betwixt me and thee.
Right. So nobody sees it but God. That's pretty much what he's saying. All right, because he knew that God was with Jacob. Yahweh was with Jacob. He sent the Elohim to deal with him. Just like in the crime world, the mob, right? In the Goodfellas, right? That's the left hand. And what did they send? They would send a couple good fellows to go come see you. Mm-hmm. Hey, don't you be interfering with our business. See, but on the right-hand side, which we're in the right-hand side, the righteous, with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which we don't steal, we don't murder, all right? And we hope to keep our mouths pure in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, but we only know that it could be done by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But the Lord, instead of sending men, just normal men, he sends angels to tell you, hey, let my people go. Don't interfere with them. Leave them alone. Let them go. But what happens to when the ones that don't obey? Just like in that left-hand side, you be put to death. When they say, well, put your shoes in concrete. Mm-hmm. Yahweh said, if you offend one of my little ones, it's better for you to be thrown into the sea with a concrete millstone around your neck. See? So that same power that was with the left hand is with us, but on a greater level because we're dealing with righteousness. We're more than conquerors. We're not Conan the Conqueror. We're not here to steal from you just to eat today and live tomorrow to steal again. We're not doing that. We're here for an eternal kingdom, a kingdom of righteousness that will never end. So we're more than just conquerors. We're not here just to steal anything. It's all ours in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Go ahead.
And Laban said to Jacob, behold this heap, and behold this pillar which I have cast betwixt me and thee.
Which is between thee. All right? Which we have no oath like that with Edom. Okay, go ahead.
This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm.
Right? To hurt each other. That's the oath. And that's the thing with the other nations. We'll be able to have peace. But Edom will never have peace. In fact, they got that, the Edomite, they call them, the ones that come bother you.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call them? You know what I'm talking about, right? There's a name for them. Watch, I'll Google it. Let's see. I'll ask AI Being. Right?
Hey there, I'm co-pilot. You can chat with me like you...
I'll just type in. Karens.
Oh. Yeah.
What? I'm going to ask AI, what is a Karen?
Mm-hmm.
This is why Esau won't ever be saved, because they're caring about everybody else's business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It says, Karen is a slang term often used to describe a middle-aged woman who is perceived as entitled, demanding, and overly critical, especially in public interactions. Right? And what is it? It's a so-called white woman that believes that she could call 911 and get you put in prison or shot by the police.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So, these Edomites, they don't have the same promise as even the other nations. The Moabs, and the Moabites and the Ammonites and even the Hamites, we're gonna deal with them. But the Edomites, they're out of here after 1,000 years of slavery. Go ahead.
The power of Abraham and the power of Nahor, the power of their fathers, judged betwixt us, and Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac.
Right. But it was promised to what? Abraham and then Isaac. All right. And Abraham had issue in that land. Isaac had issue in that land. And now that same issue is with Jacob now. Mm-hmm. All right. And he's just trying to be in his land, but everybody's in that land fucking with him. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're living in today. Who's in our land? Everybody. Mm-hmm. And who's fucking with us? Everybody. So we're the sons of Jacob.
Yep.
You see? We have the greatest inheritance. We're the richest people on earth, but we're the poorest right now. You see? So I was just going to show you where these things were happening on a map. See here? I'll let you see it real quick. That's where it was. Here's Canaan. So this is the land of Israel, right? All right, so you can see it, so you kind of have an idea of what we're talking about. Okay? So he was in this land, but the Lord promised him more than just this area. It actually includes much more. So even like the Syrian, what was his name? Laban? He's saying, this is all mine. This ain't yours, man. Mm-hmm. Just like the woman at the well. This is our well. This ain't your well. They were doing that same shit to Abraham in the past. Mm-hmm. Plugging up his wells and shit. Isaac was trying to unplug them because, you know, when you leave, you're supposed to cover it so nobody falls in.
Right.
Right? Well, they would plug it when he was trying to open it from being plugged. Because he went back into the land just like Jacob did. And Isaac was trying to open up those wells for his flocks, and fucking Ham was going in there and fucking sabotaging it. Mm-hmm. See? So all these heathen, they got hell to pay. All right? That's our land, and it was promised to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which it comes to the Israelites, not Edomites. All right? And there's a heap of witnesses. Literally, it's prophesied. All these things that are written in the Old Testament are prophecies in a certain time ahead later on, and some have already been finished, which we have the sure word of prophecy, history. All right, go ahead.
Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount and called his brethren to eat bread, and they did eat bread and tarried all night in the mount.
Mm-hmm.
And early in the morning, Laban rose up and kissed his son and his daughters and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned unto his place.
Right, so he left him alone. All right, so now go ahead to the next chapter.
Genesis chapter 32, verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of power met him.
Now let's go and see what that word is there. What is it? It's Elohim.
Elohim.
All right.
Yeah, I got the angels.
Uh-huh. So the Elohim met him on his way. A group of Israelite men that knew Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. All right, go ahead.
And when Jacob saw them, he said, "This is Power's host." And he called the name of that place Mahanaim.
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 Let me see. It says...
Strong's H, 4266. Mahanaim.
Mahanaim. 2 camps. And this is prophesied throughout. This is literally where they got the idea of guerrilla warfare when Abraham fought for Lot. And what did he do? He had 318 trained men in his flock, right? Trained with the sword, men of war. And he split them up, and they waited till everybody went to sleep, and they attacked them like that. It's called a flank.
Mm.
Well, that's created by us. All right? And he's about to do that to Esau. He split his whole flock, Jacob's flock, Israel, right? Because his sons are Israelites. He split them up into 2, which you got the southern kingdom, northern kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you got the 2/3, the 1/3. All right? So when you see it in the Bible, there's always a time where he split us up. That's a part of recognizing what happened to us. We were broken apart. We were all together with King David and King Solomon, but after the death of King Solomon, we were broken up into 2 kingdoms. All right, go ahead.
And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau, his brother, unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom.
Well, all right, now remember, why did he go to his brother, his uncle Laban? Because Edom wanted to kill him. He sold his birthright to Edom, and when Jacob, acted like he was Esau to get the birthright, Esau got all upset, right? Just like in that movie Sinners, when you watch the trailers, they tell you that those guys in that movie Sinners, they bought a club or a barn from a white supremacist, and once they sold it to him, they wanted to burn it down with them in there to get it and to murder him, take it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. Esau gave us his birthright through our father Jacob, and he wants to murder us and take it back. See, so they're the devil. Mm-hmm. All right. It says, go ahead.
Oh, and he commanded them, saying, "Thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau, thy servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now." Right,
which he was with his uncle, which is Esau's uncle. But see, Jacob, the iniquity with Jacob, which we also battle, is that spirit of doubt, that spirit of lacking faith. Mm-hmm. You got to remember, he just came across Laban wanting to kill him, and Laban said, "You're the God of your fathers. He told me not to touch you." Mm-hmm. So he's not really understanding his blessing yet, because he's afraid of Esau. All right, and you got to remember, Esau don't have a conscience. Look what he's doing in Gaza. Why don't he do that to us here in America yet? Because it's not allowed to him. Mm-hmm. He don't have a fucking conscience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't just all of a sudden start caring about you.
Oh, he wants to make it a casino.
Right.
Like all the ones that he's lost over here,
Right. But what it is
bankrupt.
is we're protected. We're Israelites. And his elect are here. The majority of them are here in America, all right, which the Lord's going to gather all the Israelites that are ordained to be saved out of the world. But that 1/3 that's going to be protected and the 2/3 that are going to perish is in America. The 2/3 are going to perish because they rejected the truth. They rejected the power. All right? Go ahead.
And I have oxen and asses, flocks and men servant and women servants, and I have sent to tell my Lord that I may find grace in thy sight.
Which this is a lesson for the world also. I like that movie clip with Mickey, which Mickey means Michael. All right, short for Michael. Michael like God. And he's talking to Rocky. He's like, I'm going to teach you everything to be in this ring to fight, but I'm also going to teach you what you need outside of the ring. So this is also a thing for us. I've heard the apostles say it. You know, when you go in there into an Edomite establishment, you know, be on your best behavior. And what he did was he gave him a bunch of, it would be wealth, but it was animals and goods, products, production, you know, things that he has, wheat, salt, right, animals. And he gave it to Esau to pretty much make him at peace with him. So if you ever want to get over on Esau, that's a way, you know, you pull at the strings of his heart is by money.
Yeah.
You tip him, you pretty much speak well with him, and you could supplant him. That's our power. All right? Now, you see what happens when they go against the cops. What happens? You get killed. You get murdered.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't have the same strength as Esau with the weapon. And they know it. That movie Sinners, they played the guitar. The same thing that summoned the demons is the same thing that put the demons down. You got to use your words, but in a proper manner of way. If you do it wrong, it gets you death. Right? You speak wrong to a cop, you get murdered. Right? But you speak correctly, and hey, have a nice day. Because the Lord will make him at peace with you. The heart of these kings are in the Lord's hand. But you got to know the program, the playbook.
Yeah.
Right? All right, go ahead.
And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him.
Once again, just like Laban did. Right? So just like the Egyptians did to us, they came out against us with their military, pursuing us. Right? When we were coming out of Egypt, they didn't want to let us go. Esau's going to come after us, what? With his military to pursue us. They don't want to let us go. All right? But it's going to fail just like Esau's attack. Really, watch what happens. It was worse than with Laban. At least Laban stood up like a man and said, you know, I could fucking kill you right now. But your God's looking out for you. Esau, watch. Esau's a devil. He's a deceiver. All right? Go ahead.
Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him and the flocks and herds and the camels into 2 bands.
Which again, he did that with military strategy. And it's going to explain why. But once again, it's prophecy of Jacob's flock being broken up. The southern kingdom and northern kingdom. The 1/3, the 2/3. There's a purpose for this, okay? Go ahead.
And said, If Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape.
See? So that's a military strategy. If he comes up and murders all these people and camels and everything, these ones could leave while that one's being destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen in the time of Jacob's trouble. Esau's going to be destroying the 2/3, but the 1/3 is going to be eating and drinking, glorifying Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, go ahead.
And Jacob said, O power of my father Abraham and power of my father Isaac.
Wait, their power, right? The power of Abraham and Isaac, and it's being confirmed with Israel. Yasharallah, we have the power to prophesy. Go ahead.
The Lord Yahweh which saith unto me, return unto thy country.
Now wait, that word there for God, for power, is what? Elohim. So it said that Abraham was like a god before Ham. Moses was a god before Pharaoh. Deuteronomy, Exodus 7. He said that we are as gods, though we die like men. All right? Go ahead.
And to thy kindred, and I will do well with thee.
Mm-hmm.
I am not worthy of the least of all.
I'm sorry, let me make a point. He said, what? Return. Yahweh said, return unto thy country. Now, we can't go back to that land, all right, because they're occupying it, right? What we got to do is go back in our minds, go back to who we are, all right, and practice those righteous acts as Israelites, all right, in the land of our captivity. Go ahead.
I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast shewed unto thy servant.
Right, and that's our same spirit. We know that this is a gift. We're not worthy. We didn't earn it. Right? It tells you in Romans 9 and 11, no man done any good or evil, but that the will of Yahweh play out on the earth as Yahweh Shai has commanded. All right, go ahead.
For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become two bands.
Now the staff means leadership, lamad. All right, you lead a flock with the staff. All right, so that staff represents the leadership that the Lord given over us to make it pass over Jordan. Yahweh, which it means ancestor. All right, which we're returning. We're going to return originally back to the land, Isaiah 14 and 1. All right, but we're returning to the spirit first, mentally. All right, just like in the movie Coming to America 2. He had to learn his history. He didn't just have to get the whisker of the lion. He had show a act of courage, which we're gonna have to be courageous in Jacob's trouble. And now, right from now on, but he had to learn the ancestors. He had to learn his history of the kingdom. See that, and that's what we're doing. We're learning, all right, how to be a king as princes. We're princes. And once again, I like to point out that book of Machiavelli. It says it's called Princes. And he points out the number one thing with the prince, because how should you be as a prince? And the Lord said that these heathen are nothing. In that book, which he tells you about princes, and it's in the time of the Renaissance, the beginning of the Renaissance, all right? He explains that the only thing you have in front of princes is what you could give them or your life. Because otherwise than that, what's the purpose of having you? And if you're here, you're just taking up space from my flock. See? So what would he do? He'd either enslave you, imprison you, or kill you. That's why you'd give him a gift. And that's why Joseph rose to the top, because he was in prison, right? But what happened? He had a gift that no one else had. He was able to break down the dream of what? Pharaoh. Daniel. Break down the dream of what? Nebuchadnezzar and his son. See? So then, us in this time, the heathen are being tormented by the angels in the spirit, and even by us that speak on these videos. They're listening. They try to go to bed. They're tormented. It's like, I mean, you know what it's like. Go ahead.
Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children.
And that's where we're at today. Hey, we're hearing about Edomites coming into our homes, destroying us, raping the women, killing the kids. Hey, that's how our spirit is right now. Deliver me. And that's what we're saying about Yahweh Shai. He delivers. And when we're in the chariot looking down, we're going to say Yahweh Shai. He delivers. That's what the name means. Yahweh Shai. He delivers. He ain't saying he delivers. It's us saying he delivers. You see, we're saying it right now. He delivers. But when we're in the chariot, we're going to be saying, He delivers. Our enemy is going to witness our salvation and say, He delivers. See? And they're going to say, He is a prince of power. Because we're going to be the ones being delivered. Go ahead.
And thou sayest, I will surely do thee good and make thy seed as the sand of the sea.
Right, which we're supposed to multiply. He promised this to Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob. Go ahead.
Which cannot be numbered for multitude. And he lodged there that same night and took of that which came to his hand a present for Esau, his brother.
Right, because he was scared that Esau was going to murder him. So he had a gift with him to give Esau. He sent him a convoy, but he was going to, he was trying to buy him off from trying to murder him. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And that's what Esau does. They show you in the movies, all these people that are paying. Esau's gangster, man. What do they say? You better give me tax money or else I'll go in there and bomb your country.
Yeah.
That's Esau. All right, go ahead.
200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams.
Which this ain't cheap. There's animals that cost up to hundreds of thousands to millions. Not every animal is the set price. You see? So he's giving this man a lot of money, which the Lord gave to him. All right? Just like we've given everything to Esau. Right? We've worked for him. Everything. I mean, you could go through the list. Israelites been sacrificed in all his wars. It's never enough. It's never fucking enough for this guy. Go ahead.
30 milch camels with their colts, 40 kine, and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses, and 10 foals.
Right, which pretty much he's buying them all, but fuck this dude is what the Lord is going to say. Watch.
He delivered them into the hands of his servants. Every drove by themselves and said unto his servants, pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove.
Right. So send them out and spread them out. All right. So he's using deception himself. All right. Go ahead.
And he commanded the foremost, saying, when Esau my brethren meeteth thee and asketh thee, saying, whose art thou, and whither goest thou, and whose are these before thee?
See? And remember, he already said he sent a messenger. Now he told him to spread it out, make it look bigger than it is, fluff it out. Right? All these animals, so it looks bigger, like a bigger flock, instead of having them all tight together. Why? Because he's supplanting Esau. They deceive us. We have the right to deceive them.
Come on.
All right? But we don't have the right to deceive each other in this truth, though. All right? But we could deceive Esau. All right?
Then thou shalt say, they be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau, and behold, also he is behind us.
So Jacob was coming in like he was richer than he was, trying to impress his brothers so that he has some kind of pull with him, because he's afraid of him. Go ahead.
And so commanded he the second and the third, and all that follow the drove, saying, on this manner shall ye speak unto Esau when ye find him.
Right, because he's trying to impress him, so when he asks for mercy, you can't help but say, oh yeah, you're a great man. You see? But really, Jacob is a great man, and it ain't because he had a great substance. He had a great substance because he was a great man. It was all given to him. He was a great man from the beginning.
Yeah.
He came from a lineage of great men. Abraham, Isaac, which he was Jacob. See, and that's what Jake is doing now. We're looking for all these different things to fucking make us great before the eyes of Esau, which were the great ones. We are those giants that were in the past. All right? We are, like Apostle Gabar said, hey, the easiest thing with spiritual power is to make yourself bigger. Right? They show you that in the movie X-Men with Apocalypse when he's trying to smash Xavier. I think his name is the one in the wheelchair.
Oh.
He made himself grow. He broke the reality,
Mm-hmm.
right? Between heaven and earth. That's the power that is with Israel.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Spirit with flesh. All right? And our spirit is with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Go ahead.
Come on. And say ye, moreover, behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us, for he said, I will appease him with the present that goeth before me, and afterward I will see his face. Peradventure he will accept of me.
Which, once again, this is another, like a parable of this time we're in now, which it literally took place. But it's like Yahushai coming in the end. He sent all these messengers. And remember the rich man, when he saw what was going to happen? He said, please send messengers to my brothers and warn them.
Mm-hmm.
But see, Esau don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He don't care. He don't understand. He don't want to understand. All he knows is the sword. And that's by design. Remember, he's a weapon formed against us that shall not prosper. He is a weapon that is formed against us. So you got to operate correctly in this program. If you understand me, you got to use the playbook to protect yourself against this program, Esau, which came as our twin brother, all right? And pretty much he was sworn to pretty much murder us, which that's why the water is poisoned. That's why the food is poisoned. Mm-hmm. He's such a madman. He's poisoning himself and running straight at us. You see? Go ahead.
So his wisdom would be in foolishness then.
Foolishness, right? Exactly. He's pretty much lost the ability. That's why it was funny to watch Trump. That's the mind of these people. They don't know what. Should I enforce the Constitution or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I an American or not? I don't know. Is there a future for my children? This is the land of confusion.
Yeah.
Are you a boy or are you a girl? I don't know. Are you a white or black Israelite? We don't know. Right?
He's always winning, you know. So with the president...
Just like the rabbit. Right? Just like the rabbit. The rabbit was ahead. And then what happened? He got weak. He didn't endure the race. It says, he that endured the race, him shall he save amongst the Israelites. But Esau, his race comes to a dead end. You know, you ever see in the cartoons where they'll make a fake picture and the one that's winning, he'll be able to use it like a real picture. And the other one that made the trap falls, it doesn't work for him. That's what the Lord's going to do to Esau. He's a fowler that's setting traps, and he's going to get trapped in his own trap. You see? And it's going to fall, the nuclear missiles are going to fall on his head, and we're not going to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about Shimei Yoshai willing?
Yeah. It's like some of these shows or videos, and the guy shoots a missile, thinking he's shooting the enemy over there. Only thing is, he shoots it straight up.
Right.
And
or that one, he was doing a drone with the bomb, right? And once he lets it go, it drops right at his own feet. Boom! And it blew him to pieces. It was pieces. The other guy was trying to roll away, like roll the fire off. But the guy that was holding it, he was like chunk meat. Red mist.
And right? Those other ones are just jumping off the boat, you know?
Yeah. That's Esau's life. I'm telling you, National Lapoon.
Yeah.
Where everything's going backwards for them. They're running uphill and their equipment's left in neutral, rolling back the opposite way.
Yeah.
They're never able to accomplish what they intend to. See? Days are shortening. We can feel it. The days are shortening. Esau needs lots of time to do these things, these plans. Yeah. Which we're coming to the time of these plans manifesting. But you could tell that Esau is pretty much in straits trying to do this. It's not like he's just doing what he wants to do.
He's going crazy, you know. He can't, you know.
All these leaders dropping out of place.
Yeah.
The firing of these helpers, these advisors.
Yeah.
The house is divided. Yeah. It's going to implode, fall in on itself. See? And it's prophesied. It's literally prophesied. Go ahead.
So with the president over before him and himself lodged that night in the company, And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jabbok.
Right, which is pretty much a river right where I showed you earlier on the map. Same area. He came across that river, right? And what would happen is if he came to this side, the land of Gad, he would have had to go through the land of Edom to get through to the other side.
Oh.
See, but instead of trying to go against Esau, because he could have, he went the other way. That shows you that Jake really don't, we want to live in peace.
Right.
We don't really want problems. But Esau, he comes looking for them.
Right.
Because he made deals, he married the women of Ham, Canaan and them, in that land. So he was up in that area. But that land is our land. See? So really all of them, they're going to be removed out of that land. And only the Israelites are going to be in that land. All right? Right now, it's a bunch of counterfeits.
Yeah, imposters. And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
Which this man is an angel. All right, showing you that he's an Elohim. He's a son of Yahweh. All right, but he's an adversary to Jacob. Why? So that he could overcome this fear of Esau. All right? And that's what we are. We are overcoming the fear of Esau by wrestling ourselves in this dark place. Which the Lord has angels that come against us in adversity. That's why it says we're in a spiritual war. Iron sharpens iron. See, but the other side, their adversary, right? But it's only to make the elect better. It's not to destroy us. They don't have that authority. They're just a program that's running for us to overcome. Okay? So that's what we have to do is prevail to overcome this place. They're going to make it sound so scary and so terrifying that if you don't do this and you don't take that implantable microchip, we're going to kill you and kill your kids and all this shit.
Yeah.
But really, we have power over that. It's not true exactly as they say it. They're going to be able to put these 2/3 to death, but not even all the way. Once again, they're going to be in straits. Those reprobates, you see what they're doing in the streets. Let Esau go out there and try to fucking deal with them. That's a monster they created by breaking up the homes, taking the fathers out of the houses, leaving them with these moms. Look at the movie Mr. Glass, The Beast. How was that made? Joker, how was that made? They show you a single mom, right? You have that. And then, there's so many things going off right now. The prophecy, we're really at the last days. So this is why really redeem the time while the days are evil, because soon judgment is going to come to pass. And it's all ordained, but, we have to warn our people. Go ahead.
Con. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint.
Right. Which representing that breaking up of the Israelites. All right. It actually happened that angel did some judo, some jiu-jitsu. All right. And literally removed his thigh from the socket. All right. But what it is it was a metaphor or a parable at the same time of us in this time wrestling right now. We're to hold on fast to what we have. And who is your own enemy? It shows you in that movie Conan where he's wrestling the monster in a mirror, a room of mirrors.
Yeah.
And when he starts to destroy the mirror, he was defeating his enemy.
Yeah.
So breaking down that image of what he saw as himself, being born again, learning the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and applying them, all right, with sincerity of faith. That's what the Lord wants. You see, he wants you to let go of your own life and begin to live for him. You see, that's the fight. And hold on to that belief that Yahweh is going to send Yahweh back to save us. Go ahead.
As he wrestled with him, and he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
Right. So they wrestled all night into the morning, and he said to bless me. The night represents now, and the morning represent Yahweh coming back. That's when we're going to get the reward. Yahweh is the morning star. You see, the sun as a metaphor, and we're going to receive that blessing when Yahweh returns. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob.
Right.
And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
But Israel, Yasharallah. So the angel called to him, Yasharallah, you are a prince of power. And when you go in there, when Jacob was fighting him, it said he pretty much submitted him. Just like in a judo fight or a jiu-jitsu or like a boxing match. You know, you pretty much go until the one gives out. That's what they were doing. They were fighting. Shoot, there was a fight that's on Genesis, the book of Guinness records. And they said they had a fight in Ireland that lasted like days.
Jeez.
Yeah, like 6 days or something like that. And the guys would actually rest and then get back up and start going. They had to go to the bathroom. They went to the bathroom, came back, and started fighting again. And it was like a family beef. So, but they went for like 6 days. One guy's eyeball was hanging out. The jaw was all busted.
Dang.
Because it was bare knuckle too. But it wasn't like wrestle. It was bare knuckle just.
Yeah.
But that's what Jacob did with this man. He wrestled him. It was an angel, and he submitted him. Which that's what we're doing with Esau. We're going to put this dude in submission through Yahweh Shai. See, we pull him down into submission. We overcome him. We supplant him by the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
For as a prince has thou power with power and with men, and has prevailed.
All right, so it says with power and with men, with God and men. All right, so that's why you see Jake stirring a whole crowd. IUIC, you got Nate. That's the left hand side of the Lord. He's stirring up all them people's emotions, deceiving them. That's the power of Jacob, to deceive, to supplant. See? So that's what's happening. You either with the Lord doing what's right against Esau in this spiritual war, all right, or you're a witch on the left-hand side and you're trying to have power with men, which the Lord ain't for you. This is, once again, for his flock. But his flock has been broken up, the 1/3, the 2/3 in America. The southern kingdom and northern kingdom, which he's bringing together in America. See? So, all these things were prophecies in the past, in the life of Jacob, of his sons in the future. All right? And we're living it out. We're living out this battle against this angel, which is Satan, our adversary. We're going to go through Jacob's trouble. And he's going to try to make you sin.
Yep.
Literally. All right? The ultimate sin, when they tell you to take an implantable microchip and put it in your hand or your body. And you tap out if you take it.
Come on.
See, but you can't. If you're of the elect, you won't be deceived. You won't be able to tap out. You're gonna, hey, choke me out, put me out, right? Yeah. That's what it says. They're not even gonna love their lives unto death. You're gonna be, hey, fuck that. Let me go. All right, I'll see you on the other side. I ain't tapping. See, but you got Jake that are gonna tap out. They're gonna be like, give me the thing, and it's gonna be the worst thing you did. It's gonna be the worst decision you ever made.
You'll be sorry.
Yeah.
And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name?
Right. And you got to remember, Esau, which he's dealing with, and that angel, all right, is literally a son of God. And Esau, he's being moved by a son of God, Satan. All right? And he's an angel of the Lord, and that's what we're going against. We're not going against fucking Trump and his saggy old body. We're not going against their armies with weapons. Mm-hmm. There's demons on the back of these men that are moving them like puppets. And they're sons of God, but they're at war with us. Mm-hmm. All right? And if we overcome them, we have a reward in Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. But if you fail and you give in to them, into the temptations, you're going to be destroyed. This is a proving ground. The earth is a proving ground to prove the truest Israelites, male and female. All right? And the children, they're pretty much innocent until a certain age, and then they got certain obligations once they pass puberty. Mm-hmm. Because that's when the Lord says you're a man or a woman, is when you hit puberty. All right? But we're here to give you warning that the Lord is going to bring the greatest war on Jacob that ever was in Jacob's trouble. And the women, they can't be saved out of it unless they join to a flock. And now some women are going to join to the wrong flock and be destroyed. Some of the women of Israel are going to join to the right flock, following a man of the Lord, and they're going to be saved. And out of that flock, out of those flocks that are going to make up one flock in Yahweh Shai, are going to start the earth over after the destruction and everybody's kingdoms are destroyed. The earth is shaken at the judgment of the Lord, the return of Yahweh Shai. We're going to be saved in the twinkling of an eye, and the earth is going to be changed, and it's going to be ours to rule in righteousness. So that's what we're being prepared for. See?
Con. And he blessed him there, and Jacob called the name of the place Peniel.
Peniel, which you get the pineal, what do you call it? The pineal gland.
Oh, okay.
That name, that's what actually where they get it. Because it's really a war in your mind. Mm-hmm. That's why in that movie Constantine, it's in his mind. Mm-hmm. All right, that movie Conan I referenced, it's a war in his mind.
Yeah,
that's what it is. The Lord he's gonna put demons on us, just like Job, so that we could be at war with our flesh and overcome it.
God.
You see, the ones that are given into it, they're going to be taken out of the truth and destroyed with it. See, we're hoping to get new bodies. Mm-hmm. Give me that verse that you just read.
That's Genesis chapter 32, verse 30.
Verse 30. Let me see. I want to pull that word up. And once again, that word God there is Elohim. It says, Pinot. Which is facing God. The face, and then Al is God. Pa, Na, Ha, Allah. Which Pa, mouth, Na, seed, Ha, the, Allah, the Elohim. We're the face of God. Mm-hmm. You see? And what do they say? You got to open that penile gland, which pretty much, when I was looking that word up, and what it means is to be in that sleep and awake state. But what it represents is being in the world and being spiritual. Understanding that everything is happening by spirits on the outside, controlled. They're following a program. And who wrote it? It was Yahweh, and it speaks of his son Yahweh Shai. What we're seeing is a sign of his return. All right? The rumors of wars, the famines, all these things are like him getting into water. Have you ever seen someone get into a pool of water? It's still, but once it enters in, ripple effects. The bigger the thing is, the bigger the ripples. And that's what it is. These are ripple effects from the Lord's coming. And you know how Jake liked to come.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear him fucking 2-3 blocks away because they got that music blaring and all. They want you to know they're coming. Right? Bright lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really how the Lord is. He's the same way. He's letting you know before he comes through his prophets. Mm-hmm. The face of Yahweh on earth through Yahweh Shai is his elect men.
Mm-hmm.
You see? That prophesy. Go ahead.
For I have seen Elohim face to face, and my life is preserved.
See? He came across a camp, and he wasn't rejected. He was accepted. He was an Israelite, and he served Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Mm-hmm.
See? Remember Adam, he was hiding amongst all the false religions. And when the Elohim looked for him, hey, where you at, man?
Mm-hmm.
He said, oh, I'm busy over here taking care of this and doing this. And I ain't got time to go to the camp. I ain't got time to do videos. Right? That's literally the spirit that got us in this place.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got the spirit of, hey, I'm doing the work. I'm busy. And literally them coming into our presence is really meeting the presence of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Go ahead.
Con. And as he passed over Penuel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore the children...
And what it did was he hopped on his leg, all right, because of that wound that he got in the war between him and that angel,
mm-hmm.
which had dislocated his hip.
Mm.
So he hopped. All right, go ahead.
Con. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh.
Which you're not supposed to eat the cartilage of the leg.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But, we're not saved by the law. We're saved by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But this is one of the things that you could strive to try to keep.
Yeah.
Just remembering that you're an Israelite, if it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
But, are you going to die if you eat it? No, we're saved through Yahweh Shai. We're going to, when we get to the kingdom of heaven,
mm-hmm.
none of us will eat it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So should you strive to? Yeah, you should strive to look out for it and not eat it.
It will be a righteous kingdom.
Right.
We'll
right.
be programmed.
Right. And everything will be for us to keep it. Right now, everything's against us.
Yeah.
A lot of times, that's all you get is those things. And sometimes you don't even think about it till you're eating on it. I know it happened to me a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I try to remember not to eat it, and then I'll start chewing on it, and I'm like, oh, shoot, swallowed it. But it's because we're not supposed to be able to be perfect. You're supposed to be perfect, know what you're involved in, but the Lord said he comes for sinners, not them that are whole.
Right.
So that's why we got to remember the law of Moses, because it makes us sinners as Israelites, and we remember Yahweh Shai, he's our Savior, the Son of Yahweh, which the word of Yahweh is prophecy of his return. Go ahead.
Which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank.
Mm-hmm. Because of that battle, remembering, Yahweh Shai, Jacob's war with that angel, which really, the Lord is a man of war. He's putting us through this. So it's really, we're trying to do what the Lord wants us to do.
Right.
But the flesh wants to do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Though we want to do what the Lord wants us to do, we're in a battle of faith, a battle of doing what's right and wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's the iniquity of Jacob. But our sins are covered by Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
See?
Like Paul, he had that thorn, on his side as he speaks of, and so he had to go through that struggle,
Mm-hmm. I put up that word penal, and it says it goes back to penis. In the etymology online, it says a male organ of copulation. All right, penis, a tail, which I've heard of that. The tail, usually said to be originally penis, right? And that's with that word Peniel.
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 Well, I mean, Peniel, I guess.
Which the offspring come through the penile gland. I mean, through the penis.
Right.
You see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about the offspring. That's what the whole thing is with the elect. He's gonna bring forth a righteous offspring, and it's gonna be a heap of witnesses. Revelation 7. Go ahead and finish that, and then go to Revelation 7.
Okay, you want me to read that one again?
Go ahead.
Okay. Therefore, the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank.
Because it's going to talk about our salvation in Yahweh Shai when he gathers us. And we'll just go down to about verse 9 and probably about 11.
Okay.
And we'll wrap it up. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 7, starting at verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, it hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
Which the servants of his power are the Israelites. And they're sealed in Ezekiel 9 verse 4 when the word goes out, and the Lord pretty much goes into your mind through this word by the Spirit and marks you whether you accept it and believe it or you reject it and hate it. You see, so he's doing that through this word that we have, the Bible. It's not just any word that we're just speaking. It says it does not return void. It goes out, and you may not be able to see it, but everything is created by word, the word of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai, spoken by the Elohim, the sons of God, and now the elect of the nation of Israel. The same word which pretty much was before the flood, condemned this world to be flooded, is the same word that we're speaking today, which is the same word which was in the beginning that brought forth this life. What is it? The Elohim said, let there be light, Genesis 1, right? I'm sorry, 2. And what did the Lord say to us? Let our light so shine. See? It's all connected. We're the same people from back then that had the power. We forgot who we are, and our power put us here and showed how greatly he made us, how pure. It says with the righteous, everything is pure. With the wicked, that it's all impure, meaning you're confused with it. Everything is pure. We are the Israelites, all right, and the world is made up of flocks. There's 18 nations. The Lord only loves the Israelites. All right, go ahead.
Go on. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Nephilim were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zabulon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were still 12,000. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
Which we got the victory. Yahweh, through Yahweh Shai, gave us these clean robes and the palms in our hands, meaning we got victory. Yahweh Shai is going to save us. This is why we have the truth. All right? Which we're seeing right now. And we hope in Yahweh Shai's deliverance for us as Israelites, which is promised to us in the word of Yahweh. We're the sons of promise. Go ahead.
And cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our power was seated upon the throne and unto the Lamb.
Right, which, did you read 9?
Let's see.
I think you skipped 9.
I can read it again.
Oh, no, we did. Palms in their hands.
Yeah.
Right, and then cried with a loud voice. That's how you know they're Israelites. Grab one more, Isaiah 14.
Isaiah 14.
And 1. Because it says the same thing.
Okay. Isaiah chapter 14.
Yep.
Start at verse 1. And this reads, For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
To the house of Jacob. So that's how you're going to know they're Israelites. They're going to agree with what the scripture said. All right? But
Jacob, I mean, I talked about strangers, which are just, they're still the elect, right?
Yeah, they're Israelites.
But, yeah.
But they're not on the 12 tribe sign.
Right.
On the 12 tribe sign, you see the so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American Indian.
Yeah.
But you got Israelites in Europe, in Australia, in Japan, in China.
Oh, yeah, spread out.
All over Russia, right? So they're not going to see themselves on that 12 tribe sign. So it's like as a stranger, you look like a stranger.
Okay.
But you're going to cleave to the house of Jacob. You're going to be with us in doctrine.
Right.
You see, you're going to receive Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in faith. See, that's how you know someone's an Israelite. Because it says in Romans 8, anyone that's moved by the Spirit is a son of Yahweh. Romans, let me get that. Romans 8 and verse 14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, are the sons of Yahweh, the princes of the power, the Elohim in the beginning. You see? It says, For ye have not received the spirit of bondage, again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption through Yahweh Shai, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. All you got to do is ask. All right? And we've seen it. I had a car, I waited for it, and I trusted in the Lord, and He paid for it. All you got to do is wait for it and ask as you have received. But see, the Lord, He says you ask amiss because you want to feel, you pretty much want to enjoy your blessings by yourself. This is a thing of looking out for the flock right now. You know, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have gardens. You're going to be able to have a different woman, multiple women a day, and there ain't going to be no one around. You could sleep with them whenever you want. Ready to go, smelling good. I waited a year just for you. Never been touched. Never been corrupted. Right? All these pleasures in the flesh are all waiting on us, just manifesting that we are those sons of Yahweh, the princes of the power. That's all it is. Just own up. Put on, therefore, as the elect. If you think you're an elect man, put on, therefore, as the elect. Be the elect. What did they do? They professed what was coming. And then it came. That's why Yahweh Shai said, I did not come to destroy the law, the commandment, or the word of the prophets, but to fulfill. Once we've done prophesying, Yahushua is coming back and saying, what? I made all things new. See, in the beginning, when Elohim did what they did with Yahushua, he said, all things are good. It was good. We rested. And then now we're in this captivity, and really we prophesied it. It says that we wanted to be like as the heathen. Now, we tasted of it. It sucks. We want to be as we were with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. We want that glory. It says, for if ye live after the flesh, meaning you want power with men, ye shall die. Jay-Z, these movie stars, Denzel Washington, they got money. They got people that love them and worship them. But guess what? They're going to die.
Yep.
Though they be sons of God, Yahweh, through Yahweh are they Israelites, but they have power with men. We want power with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? It says, for if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye live through the Spirit, do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. Pretty much, you live to fulfill the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and not your own desires. And we are human, but you have a life. But you know what time it is. Really, at any moment, can chaos break off, and we got to know what to do within that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who you going to call upon, what you hope upon. And really, it's a trained being, a trained mechanism.
Yeah.
This military guy, he was explaining that the training that they do in the military comes from the Bible, which the Bible, it explains that, and it's set up, which this is spoken of by Abba in his book, A Lost Tribe, and he in there, it's a training manual to train you to focus. See, because we have to focus our energy. All right, our spirit, we have to focus it so that we can get the most out of it in this word. The word is powerful enough, but it has to be focused, and that's why they cause all kinds of distractions, like jobs. They don't need you to go to work. They're funded by other nations to keep you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians in slavery. They don't need you to pay your taxes. If that was the case, they'd be sure that there's plenty of jobs. There's motherfucking employment at a high-ass level. Things are shutting down. If they needed you to pay your taxes to keep this place running, they would make sure that these places stayed open 24/7. They don't. Because they don't give a fuck about you. All right? This is a place that they're pretty much going to plan on butchering Jacob.
Yeah.
All right, the Israelite. But it's going to fail when they come against the elect. All right, let me just finish this up. Did you have anything else?
No, that was it.
All right, I'll just read this a little bit and then we'll wrap it up. It says, the Spirit itself, this is verse 16, Romans 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the sons of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. So you got to work out your own salvation in fear and trembling. And it says we're self-conscious. Meaning you know if the Lord is dealing with you when he's angry at you.
Yeah.
So you got to work that out with yourself and him. Yahweh. But we have a mediator, Yahushai, which is greater than our conscience. Sometimes you just get fucking horrible thoughts. That's the time when you look into the scriptures on how Yahushai is our Savior. All right? This is a take and give relationship. A lot of times when we're getting these bad thoughts, it's really the Lord wants you to go in and search out the scriptures and bring it out in the truth. And speak about it. All right? And talk about it because, the Israelites need to know. We have the instruction to bring them to their salvation by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? So we don't have to be afraid. It says, I'm going to just jump down to the point. It says in verse 21, because the creature itself shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the sons of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. So not only are we waiting for it, but the whole earth is crying out for it. All right, the earth is mourning under the wicked, and it's because they're crying for the elect to come into power. All right, so Esau ain't got no prayer in heaven or on earth. All right, everything, all the future is for the Israelites. All right, and we're already claiming it. That's part of the receiving it. The Israelites, the elect, shall take the kingdom. You got something? No?
No, not yet.
All right. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, which means Yasharallah, Prince, Yashar, Prince, Power, Yasharallah. All right, which our enemies are going to say when they witness our salvation. We give all power and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Ha-Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom wa abal babal.
Shalom to the elect.